Hey everybody, I wanted to make a short video about my brother Larry Lynch. This is a picture of my brother Larry Lynch. Larry has mental retardation, and Larry was kidnapped. Larry was kidnapped and taken away from his home in Montgomery, Alabama, and he was taken to Denver, Colorado. I wanted to make everyone aware of this because Larry has mental retardation, and this represents not only a very serious crime, it also represents a form of exploitation, because Larry is like a child. He cannot speak for himself. When this happened, I was on the way with Larry. We were getting in the van, and hostile relatives came, and they took Larry by force, and they kidnapped him, and they took him out of state, and they took him to Colorado. They did this without bothering to take his medication, his medical records, or anything that he needed. And by doing this, they were able to get eventually, once they got him to Colorado, they were able to get guardianship and custody of Larry awarded by a Colorado court, even though Larry had been a resident of Alabama his entire life. Well, Larry was kidnapped from his home in Montgomery, Alabama, the day after his mother was declared and found to have dementia by a neurologist. And this was done even before a court hearing could be done to determine who Larry's guardian and conservator would be. And I believe this represents a serious crime and a serious form of exploitation of people who have mental retardation. I wanted to make everyone aware of this. I'm not a rich person. I do not have the means to invest tens of thousands of dollars, perhaps even more money, to do what would be necessary to do legally to protect Larry's rights. I think his civil rights have been violated. I think other rights that Larry and his mother have been violated. I think some federal crimes perhaps have been committed, and I wanted to make everyone who sees this video aware of this, so that perhaps if there are some concerned people out there who would like to help, they may do this. I'm not sure what would be the best thing to do. Maybe the FBI should get involved with this. Maybe the federal courts need to be involved with this. Maybe the state attorney general out in Colorado should be involved with this. Larry was taken to Lakewood, Colorado. I believe that's where he is right now. And this represents a very, very serious abuse of a person's rights. Because as I said, Larry is like a child. Larry is a person who has mental retardation. He can't speak for himself, and when this was done, remember, this was done the day after his mother, who wanted me to be Larry's guardian conservator, and expressed this fact, and she had also expressed the fact to me that the people who have Larry now, she did not want them to have anything to do with Larry, with his care, or anything whatsoever to do with taking care of Larry. There are some issues involved here which I know about, and I just wanted to relate this to people, because the fact that this could happen in the United States of America, this is very terrible. It is very terrible that not only was this done by hostile relatives, but I also believe that there were some lawyers involved in the corruption that was involved in enabling this to happen. I also believe that law enforcement was lied to by some people, and that the courts were lied to. There was some real corruption involved that enabled this to happen. I believe the Department of Health and Rehabilitative Services in Alabama was lied to enable people to get away with doing this. There have been some serious lies that have been told by people. There's been some serious corruption involved here. This represents the exploitation of a person that has mental retardation. This is a serious crime, people. This is a serious violation of someone's civil rights. This is something people should be up in arms about. The fact that this type of thing can happen in the United States of America. Larry's birthday is coming up in April. I wanted to make this video to put it on record that this type of thing should not be tolerated in the United States of America. If there are any people who see this video, who know Larry, who are involved with Larry in the state of Colorado, I want them to know that Larry was kidnapped. He was taken from Alabama by force. Larry was kidnapped. His mother never gave consent for Larry to be taken to Colorado. I never gave, as Larry's brother, I never gave consent for Larry to be taken to Colorado. Larry was kidnapped. Larry was taken to Colorado by force against his will. Larry did not have his mother's consent, no matter what anyone has said, to take Larry to Colorado. Larry's mother had dementia at the time Larry was kidnapped and taken to Colorado by force by hostile relatives. It was for a court in Alabama to determine Larry's guardian, who would be Larry's guardian conservator. Me and Larry, I was on the way to take Larry to see a lawyer to have guardianship papers drawn up when Larry was kidnapped. Folks, this is a serious form of exploitation of people who have mental retardation. I believe this was done to get power and control over Larry, to get his benefits, which go into the tens of thousands of dollars over the years. Larry is being exploited. The state attorney general in Colorado needs to know that Larry is a person with mental retardation. He is being exploited. He is being exploited. Law enforcement needs to know about this. The FBI needs to know about this. Lawyers need to know about this. If there are any lawyers out there, any good lawyers, any Boston Legal type lawyers, and I mentioned Boston Legal because that's a program I like to watch, but hey, they have some real cases on that program that reflect some very important issues. If there are any good lawyers in this country that want a good civil rights case, I'll back them up 100% on it. There may be some property issues involved in this. There may be hundreds of thousands of dollars someone could get to help Larry in filing a claim for Larry in this regard. I stand up and I back up Larry and his mother all the way on this issue. Larry was kidnapped, folks. He was kidnapped and taken to Colorado. This happened in the United States of America, and this type of thing should not be happening in this country. It represents not only kidnapping, but exploitation of people with mental retardation. Read what I've posted in the sidebar, folks. Here you can get more complete details. If there are any lawyers out there that want a good case that they might be able to make some real money on, or might be able to get a good bit of fame and fortune, because there are some unique issues involved with this case, folks. There are some unique issues here that need to be brought out in the daylight. And I'm posting this because I want to go on record of standing up for Larry and standing up for people who have mental retardation and people who are being exploited in this country. We shouldn't let this happen in America, folks. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is very, very, very wrong.